Okay, so that was a test. I forgot to hit the record button on Zoom because I'm not used to doing this with Zoom. All right, starting again.
Recording in progress.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Maximum effort.
In this war, there's no surrender.
He's out of line, but he's right. Who the hell's Bucky?
You don't like a fair fight.
I think you're wrong. Which part? All of it.
Think you're the only superhero in the world?
Touché.
Oh, welcome to the Rogue Agents. This is gonna be a special episode. We did a participation with Rich's quiz that he put on this last week, and our question was about Thanos' original gems in the Marvel universe. And we are joined by Ben, and he got the question right, so he won an episode with us. So he's here. Ben, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people what you're about and what you've done with miniatures and gaming and some cool facts about you.
Hello there. Thank you very much for having me on. And thank you very much for donating the prize as well, because it was a charity quiz. Everyone who participated, I think, really appreciated afterwards. So hello, everybody. My name is Ben Counter. I'm a freelance writer and gigantic nerd. Most of my gaming background has been with Games Workshop, which is probably quite common to people who play miniature games in any depth. I am a gigantic Warhammer fan and have been for a distressingly long time. I'm a freelance writer and I've written a bunch of stuff for Games Workshop. I've done Warhammer novels and short stories and novellas. Recently, I've written a load of podcasts and I'm working on some video game stuff. I love miniatures. I love painting miniatures, and I have recently got into Crisis Protocol because I really like the MCU. And I've played a couple of games, short games, where I got hammered, but I really like the scale of the game. I like the alternating activations. I like managing the power. I like those sort of elements to it. And I like the fact there's a bit of randomness in it. So it's not like chess. So I've been painting miniatures since forever, but gaming wise, I'm a real noob. I've only played a few games of Crisis Protocol. So I need your wisdom to help me avoid the intense trauma of the trial and error that I would have to go through to ever be halfway competent at this game.
The trauma's still going to be there.
Yeah. I'm ready to suffer.
There we go.
Right. Okay. So make sure all your opponents are playing Thanos because he is the boogeyman according to everybody else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, Sam, do you have some icebreaker questions you said you wanted to hit?
Well, I think we kind of, the intro kind of covered some of it there, but I guess the things that are important to me are I want to know who your favorite Marvel character is.
So my favorite Marvel character is probably Black Widow. Way back in the day, a couple of friends of mine and I played Overpower, which was the Marvel contribution to the enormous CCG boom in the late 90s. When Magic Gathering came out, mid to late 90s, there were 1,000,001 CCGs. Black Widow I liked because she was, just like she is in Crisis Protocol, she was cheap, like as a character, she didn't cost very much, but she was sort of utility. And I always like characters which are just a person, just like a person doing their thing.
Nice.
So I always liked her. And she's pretty cool in the MCU as well. In the MCU, which is my main source for Marvel stuff nowadays, I really like Scarlet Witch. And also, if any of you ever played Marvel Strike Force, which I played it back when it was a Facebook game, like in the days of Farmville and throwing sheep at people. It was like a flash game, but it was on Facebook as well. And she was my favorite character on that because she would just put random effects on people that you never knew what they were going to end up with because her power was just do a random thing to someone. And I really like that idea. So they're a couple of my favorite characters, and MCU stuff like Rocket Raccoon and things like that was just incredibly stupid but well done.
Nice.
I have a real weakness for that kind of thing. Like why someone went into a meeting room and said let's do Guardians of the Galaxy, and they said yep, that's a great idea, but I'm glad that they did. So that's where I am with favorite Marvel characters.
And then Bradley Cooper was like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah,
Shows up
I
in
know,
vocal lessons.
I know just the guy. I really liked WandaVision as well. I like how ridiculous it was.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But they said, what if it was all a different decade sitcoms? And again, someone said, "Yep, that sounds like a great idea. Let's chuck a bunch of money at that." But it was really good. I don't know how they managed to pull that one off. As a
Nice.
side note, it would be amazing if Agatha got put in the game and
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
got to sing her song.
We got to do comic Agatha though. So we need some more old ladies in this game. We already got screwed over with the intro.
That's right. We don't have a little old lady. We definitely need that. I love it when there is stuff like that in miniatures games where everyone else is these buff dudes or like improbably pneumatic women, and then there's like a little old lady shooting lasers out of her eyes or whatever it is she does.
All right. Nice. All right. So question number 2 is, if you were introduced as a Marvel character yourself, like what would you be? Would you be a hero, a villain, a mutant? Would you be like morally gray? What would your powers be?
I'd be something like the one of the few comics I sat down and I went through a period of trying to get into comics when I was at university. God, I'm not going to say how long ago that was. But Generation X was around, which was a comic about the students at Xavier's Academy. It had the Dodsons doing the art, and Jubilee was in it, and then a Husk was in it, who's Cannonball's sister. Loads of these minor characters. I'd like to be a weird minor character on the fringes of like the X-Men. Like Artie and Leech were in that, and they're just weird little guys. They're sort of one of the cool weird students at Xavier's Academy who just gets roped into the action when Sentinels attack or something, but you never actually put him in the X-Men. And he has a weird power like Matter-Eater Lad or something, where that is only good in really specific instances. Like it's a mutant power, but we have no idea what his practical application is. So we'll just keep him on the reserve list, I guess.
Nice. All right. And I guess the last one I'd have for you is like what you kind of explained this in the introduction, but like what brought you to MCP specifically?
I like a lot of Fantasy Flight games, and particularly the Arkham Files ones. The Arkham card game, the LCG, is probably my favorite game. They started, I can't remember if they ever did Crisis Protocol themselves, but they sort of span off all their miniatures games to Atomic Mass games. I don't know exactly the structure of it, but Crisis Protocol was either just announced and done by Fantasy Flight Games, or it was one of the first things they farmed off. But I learned about it then. They've got a license to do Marvel games because they do Marvel Champions, the LCG, which again I absolutely love. That's an amazing game. So it's pretty much, I heard about it, it came out, and I thought that rules, and I got the core set. So it's the fact it combined with the MCP being so good and very much on my wavelength that it realizes how ridiculous it all is. So they're basically all comedies. And then there happened to be a miniatures game at the same time. It was just, it made perfect sense. It's a great core box as well. You can actually just play a game out of the core box, which is a really big selling point for the game. So I got that, and I've been trying to get the people in the local store to play it ever since. And I need to get down and play some more games, find a night when everyone's free, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, let's give you a roster that everybody's going to hate.
All right. So what we decided was, with the episode been good, decide what the topic was, and we asked him what he'd want to do. He said about something. This is a newer player, about building a roster. So we asked him what he wanted to build a roster around, and we're going to be looking at building a roster around Scarlet Witch. So we got TTS pulled up here on the main screen. This is what we're going to use to build the roster to see what's going on, and let's go ahead and begin. So let's go ahead and pull Scarlet Witch out there. Hyper Viper's got control of the the screen. Oh my goodness, you're still using light mode.
Using what now?
Light mode.
Is there a dark mode in this too?
There is. I'll go to configuration.
Tell me right now.
Go to menu.
There's always a dark mode. There's always a Bizarro land version.
I had no idea. I have the TTS is my most played game on Steam, and I had no idea.
Go ahead.
The other thing I need to do
go
is
to X menu. Configuration.
The other thing I need to do is get some games through Rich's Discord server. But
If you join the main TTS one, that's probably the best place to find games.
okay.
Go to
Rich has got a lot of islanders on there, so
Mm.
that might be good for finding people locally too.
Yeah. He's north of England and I'm south, so he's about as far away as you can go from me without going into the ocean.
interface theme on the middle right, and then dark.
Dark.
Oh, look at that.
It's the Shadow the Hedgehog version.
So
Yeah,
much
the evil
better.
one.
So much better on the
The
eyes.
soft when Dizzard's done, so I don't offend his eyes. But anyway, we got Scarlet Witch. We probably want no
All
more
right.
mutants too, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So let's go to get more mutants out there. So I guess I'm gonna start with is let's look at like where Scarlet Witch is affiliated, because that's probably the best place to start. Is we could always go. You could always go Dormammu. That's always an option. You have. Oh, where is she even affiliated? Brotherhood.
She's Avengers and Defenders and Brotherhood. I think those are the three.
A-Force.
Oh, and
Oh, and
A-Force.
A-Force.
Yeah, sadly she's not Convocation.
Sadly,
No, but we
Sure,
can build
though.
a convocation roster around her.
we definitely
Really good
could.
convocation.
I really like Convocation. I liked Sexy Strange, so I bought some of the Convocation boxes. I've just got a bunch of the Convocation characters sitting around because I like how they look. It's a really cool looking roster. She's 6 points, so is that right?
5 points.
5. That's it. So she's quite a big chunk of whatever you start with.
Definitely.
Well, we could
And
easily
yeah.
run convo. Like we could really easily build a convo list around her. Just
Yeah, they have
Okay.
an affiliation too. It's easy peasy. If you want to do convocation, you can totally do that. You were talking about Black Widow, so my first thoughts were Avengers and A-Force, where they're both also
Okay.
affiliated. But
That's
the
cool.
problem is the leader of A-Force is Sixth Threat. If you want to play Wanda most games, it's probably not going to happen. So yeah, convocation's probably where we're landing.
Okay. And I guess you can put anything in there because they're leaders. You don't need a specific leader for Convocation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, for all you TTS watchers, I'm gonna pull out the convocation folks. That's
Sure.
like Ancient One, Baron Mordo, both Stranges, but let's be real, there's only one Strange anymore that you don't play in Defenders. Dr. Voodoo, Wong. Who am I missing?
Magic.
Yes, thank you. I feel like there's one more, if not two more.
Claire.
Oh, Clea, yeah, another character who I never play. I haven't bought that box yet, but my
I
buddy,
really like the look of Claire, but everyone hates her.
it's just because like people are scared of that 1% or like
She'll
0.1% chance of her just killing herself. Yeah,
But that's achievement unlocked. That's amazing if that happens.
yeah, you're
And
pretty
then-
happy if that happens.
Red
Realistically,
Skull can do it as well. Like whatever, man.
well, he can't. He has 6 health, so even if you roll
Oh,
on
okay.
skulls, he won't just fall over and die. She can literally kill herself.
Turn
on
2
turn
you
1.
can.
Yes, turn 2 you can.
9. My right must last for 1,000 years, and he melts with the power.
Hood isn't convo, right? Neither is
No.
Hela, but they both should be.
He's in the Doctor Voodoo box, I think. The Hood.
And I implore you to play Loki, even though he's not affiliated. He's on card art.
Oh yeah, and plus he shows up at Strange's doorstep at one point and swindles him out of the Sorcerer Supreme title. So he's
Yeah,
he's a fun
he
ad.
was a sorcerer supreme. Where's the respect? Also, there are the rogue agents if you want one of those cool guys. But yeah, I think right now we're looking at Ancient One, Mordo, both Stranges. Fine, I'll put them together. Wong, Magic, Clea, and Dr. Voodoo.
All right, that's a list.
Well, it's just all our affiliates. We really don't need all of them. But yeah. Have you played with any of those folks, Ben?
I've had one game of Convocation and got absolutely rinsed. So the truth is not really. I certainly don't know how to use them properly.
Well, which ones do you like? How about that?
I like Sexy Strange.
Me too.
Obviously, he's a very expensive character, but I really like the amount of different stuff he's got. I like the fact that he can teleport around, and just has lots of bits and pieces to him. I liked Dr. Voodoo. My understanding is that everybody likes Dr. Voodoo, but it felt like being able to say you can't play the game to someone is really powerful.
Imagine that.
Yeah, like
It is.
you can't do the thing that gets you points. So I don't know if it would be a roster about beating the snot out of people because Scarlet Witch feels like she's a bit of a weapons platform. Or if it's a control points, do the mission type. I don't know if she fits into either of those.
If you start here with these three characters, you've got a weapons platform.
Well, you can also do both. Like
Okay.
Scalpel of Strange can go on other characters. So he's one of the best characters in the game is denying VPs as well. He's teleport off the point.
So I have something. I guess I have two. One is from the chat from Sure Thing. He says 2-threat Widow has a high mystic, which is fun for convo.
That is true.
And then another thing is, I think that doing a convocation list with grunts is almost a necessary thing nowadays because grunts resets Ironbound books. So it's like,
oh god, it does. Oh
yes,
Yeah. And those ninjas blow themselves up. So
Does it not say? Is it not been FAQ to say non-grunt? Is it just like you get your books back because you're
You
random?
just get your book. It's the unlimited books. My buddy Craig has been playing it on our
Jesus
Friday
Christ.
Little Adventures. So last week it was my Black Order list versus his books recycling, and what's his name? Supreme Strange is actually able to relatively evenly duel with Corvus, which was so annoying to deal with.
Right, because he's always on his best defense.
Yeah,
No.
and he can blank your wild, so Pierce is less of an issue.
Right.
So
Because I have the core books, I do have the 2-threat Black Widow, and she is soaking in Dettol to be repainted as well. Because I want to do her as the white suit movie version,
yeah.
just to be different. Because I just want to be different all the time. So I want to repaint her because I think she's something that will come in useful whatever I do.
So now the question is, if you do want to do grunts in this, we're doing Shadowlands Daredevil or Elektra or Fury.
Elektra's spicy.
Fury also Elektra's spicy, but Fury also has 4 mystic.
Fury's also just butts. He's insane.
Is Fury just good?
Fury's just
Yeah.
good.
Because I really like Nick Fury. I know it's not the same as the Samuel L. Jackson character.
I mean,
It
it's the same
literally
model.
I really, it is him. I mean, it looks like him. So I really like the idea of Nick Fury as well.
This
Yeah.
version of Nick Fury was the one that after the movies came out, the Samuel L. Jackson, which was the ultimate version of the character in the comics, got so popular. They were like, okay, no, we need this guy and let's make it work. So now this is the real Nick Fury.
I understand his origin was that in the Ultimates version, they were saying, "Who's going to play you in a movie?" And he said, "I'm going to be played by Samuel
Yeah.
Jackson." They got him. They got him to do it.
They got that money.
All right. So real quick, because we're new to the Zoom thing, I did not know they had a timer. So we only get 40 minutes per Zoom meeting, and this Zoom meeting is almost up out of time.
Oh, they're gonna kick us out.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to
Someone hasn't got-
reset it.
Someone hasn't got the premium version.
No, this is our first time trying to use Zoom. Obviously,
DLC.
commercial version.
I think the audio is definitely way better. But we're going to have to reopen another meeting and figure out maybe a different alternative to Zoom. Eventually, for today, we'll keep doing Zoom. But I'll have to send you guys out another link for the meeting. So we're gonna have a quick intermission, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, and we'll get a new one started.
Recording stopped.
Here we are again.
We did it, boys.
Okay. Get
Good
everything.
evening.
Get everything loaded back up.
Still sounded okay.
Yeah, you still sound fine. It's definitely way better than it used to be. That's for sure.
Oh, it's just because last time I had to switch it up so that I was actually using the correct microphone, but it seems like it's not giving me trouble this time. You want to give me permissions again?
Yep, it's already there. Should be anyways. Okay.
Bam.
And then put Sam right here, I believe you were. And double check that. Nope. Oh, there we go. There's Sam. Oh, on the fly. Quick editing of all the screens real quick. Make it look pretty. And then we'll get right into this. Ben, are you here?
Yes.
Cool. All right. And hitting record on this, and we got 40 minutes.
Let's
Start
do
the
this.
clock. We said we wanted to use timers, right? So
Oh no.
Recording in progress.
Okay. All right. Back to it. All right. So we got. I think Nick Fury would be really interesting actually with Convocation because one, you're really stacking in the abuse of books. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
They either ignore the grunts and lose on BPs, or they kill the grunts and give you books back. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do think though, with having this being so top heavy right now, that we probably need to take Wong as well.
oh yeah.
Oh, Wong for sure. The affiliation too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's your lame rules interaction for the day. This Wong does not get bonus dice for hanging out with Sexy Strange.
Because it
Doesn't need
says
it.
because it doesn't say Sorcerer Supreme.
It doesn't say strange or
Correct.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like the
It
alternate
says
identity.
servant of the Sorcerer Supreme, and then he doesn't get bonus dice for hanging out with the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, it doesn't say
Fine.
Stephen Strange. It says
Oh.
Doctor Strange. And this guy is Doctor. Where did I put him? This guy is Doctor Strange. This guy is Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
Even though they're both of the same alternate identity.
Alias
Oh.
matters.
Okay, so where are we at? Because I think we should try to fit like a list to get Scarlet Witch in at every single threat value because that's the goal here, right? So
I agree.
Cool, yeah.
So we probably need some of these 3 threats that are in affiliation, like Magic, Clea, and Mordo. Any of those tickle your fancy, Ben?
I like Magic. I like. She looks cool. She's got a huge sword, and she's got some. I mean, Claire's got teleportation stuff as well, but Magic. It feels like she. I really like the idea of teleporting someone through hell. So
Oh yeah, the Limbo card. Let me grab that one for you too.
I really like
Journey
Magic.
through Limbo. She also synergizes extremely well with Ironbound books
Oh, cool.
because she has her defensive piercing just like Strange.
Yeah.
So on those books turns, she is annoyingly hard to take down.
And on non-book's turn, she's incredibly squishy. So she also helps get the book back.
I mean, and then I mean, with this list, you should be getting books every single turn.
She's great
Yeah.
books, yeah.
Iron Man books.
Books
Are
That's such
in
so
a
good.
Bar in
that's
the
so
doors.
good. The idea of having books every turn. All right.
So another thing I
Um,
think we should be doing is probably grabbing. Rather grab it now. I think advanced R&D would be super good here because then Wong can just meditate, advanced R&D, and then you can pay for books immediately off of somebody and be juiced up.
Strange can pay for it straight away. I think Sexy Strange, not
He
at
can.
all levels, but he can. I think because he gets
Yeah.
3. I think at the start.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm also I think Astral Ring is a critically underrated card.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
that's another thing that Strange can just play immediately, and it extends his threat range by basically double. Because it gives you a range 3 thingy that you can attack off of. So Strange can just, if you say have a Clea or a Lockjaw teleport him up, he can then play Astral Ring and basically attack their deployment line.
And for objective play, he can't get pushed off because that thing doesn't move.
Exactly.
So we have 4 affiliated. So let's look at the threat values real quick. We got if we're trying to take Witch, that's 5 every single time. What would 14 look like with what we have right now? You could run Witch, Wong, Magic. That's 10 right there.
And voodoo.
And Voodoo, that's 14. There we go. Witch every single value.
Oh god, that's actually that could be nasty on some 14s too. Because Voodoo, like I used to run him on a sword base when I was playing my Midnight Suns list.
Yeah.
Because you just turn someone off for the round.
Okay. That's all right. I think this is actually shaping up to pretty nice. Do we want to You said you liked Widow earlier, so I think we might as well throw Widow into this list because I think she actually does fit pretty well as a.
I like her stealth as well. She just kind of sits at
Yeah.
the back and just ticking you up a point each turn until while she, I don't know.
Yeah, if it's a game where they have a lot of snipers and you don't want to have Wong because he'll just get popped by like Rocket Raccoon at some point, you can bring Widow.
have it
Yeah.
rocket.
And then like the other thing to look about this too is like being able to run wider. I think maybe like plan this list to run wider at higher threats instead of taller.
I do think we need another affiliated 3 then, if that's what we're going for, or a rogue agent. If we're trying to have the ability to go wider and stay affiliated.
I think you want another affiliated just so they can pay for books. Yeah, I think we want probably either Cleo or Mordo. I think it depends. Like, would you want to do more scenario play or more damage plays?
I like beating the snot out of people.
Okay.
I think that's that I like. That
Mordo
feels
it
like
is.
that feels like less of a cognitive load than trying to solve the puzzle each turn of how to get exactly the right person in exactly the right place.
I still really like Ancient One. I think she has a place. I think she's really solid. She's like very defensively solid all around. She gets 2 power returns, so she can pay for some of your cards. What are we feeling?
She's cool as well because I like the fact it's Tilda Swinton. These are the things that that attract me to.
I do
particular
call her
characters.
Tilda on the table for sure.
I call her Tilda, yeah. Like Captain Marvel is always Carol. That's really funny.
Oh,
I
my
also-
favorite one is Luke Cage is Carl for me.
I also think though, like taking Ancient One just gives you flexibility. Like if you don't want to play Voodoo, you can take Ancient One instead.
Exactly.
It gives you more options.
Yeah.
So
So stagger.
yeah,
Her spender's super
absolutely.
good, and
Oof.
the not counting crits is the same thing that Scarlet Witch can do.
And
So
Vision.
you've both got these big attacks that you got like maybe 2 big attacks that don't count crits.
Yeah. So we're at what 9 characters already?
Loki.
Yeah. As much as
Loki.
I want to say Loki, we are desperately lacking in like a tank archetype right now. We have a lot of good damage. We have a lot of like mobility. We don't really have like a frontliner. And you might not need one because you just kill everyone so quickly. But I think having a frontliner is a really good idea. And I'm going to go ahead and pitch Luke Cage.
I was waiting for it.
Sweet Christmas.
He just does everything you want here, I think. He gets up in the front line. He has 2 dangers to ignore, so they can't attack anyone besides him. You have heroes for hire just in case. Have you played Luke Cage, Ben?
No, I haven't.
He rules. He's the best. My favorite.
Is
Or
there
counterpoint thematically? Iron Man. Don't make him look bad in front of the wizards.
Well, so
No,
I was
okay.
also I mean he
Fair.
takes he does have
reduction.
invuln. He's got reduction. I was gonna say this is very lacking in energy and damage. Like maybe you want to find somebody who's somewhat tanky that does energy damage.
What, like Iron Fist?
I wouldn't call Iron Fist tanky, but
Luke Cage's best friend? I'm kidding. Yeah, we actually energy is not great for us, admittedly. The only character, I mean, Witch and Strange are good defensively against it, but offensively we have no energy right now. I
energy,
guess we have
yeah.
Magic's little builder thing.
that's 4 dice. But I think
Yeah.
so. Who's a cheap, somewhat tanky energy damage dealer that takes damage pretty decently well?
I mean, when you say it like that, it is Iron Man.
Maybe there was a point. It
He's
also
in
adds.
he's in the core book, so I do have Iron Man.
he is in the core set. Iron Man. I
Then-
pull Iron Man out.
if you do Iron Man, then you've got a weird shield sub theme too.
You do.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And there's also the potential for Helios, which is probably really good with wizards and their power generation.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Like it more and more.
Professor Ulysses says Cable. I would say yes normally, but I think we're trying to keep a cheap character.
Mhm. Yeah, if it wasn't cheap, I would have said Cable too.
Yeah.
I like
we-
how 90s Cable is.
Yeah, I love the Cable model. It's one of my favorites.
He's
Love him.
possibly the most 90s character. He's even got that kind of non-specific energy thing power that does anything you want. He just does stuff with energy. Him, like guys like him and Bishop
Yeah.
and Strife. It's, yeah, like whatever, man. It just glowy stuff comes out of his hands or something. I don't know.
You know who else would be
I-
good here is Hawkeye.
I would love a Strife. Oh, yes. Hawkeye would be pretty cool because like if you do Hawkeye, you now you really have the flex to go Convocation
Hawkeye's not-
Shield. He's not
He's not the front line. He is not on the front line.
Yeah, but okay, so hear me out. You don't need a front line if you have Strange, Scarlet Witch, Mordo, and Hawkeye killing people at deployment. You just kill them.
Well, the other
That's
thing
fair.
to think about is Iron Man is also bringing some more control to the team. If you just need to
Yes.
put some people off points, I think Iron Man's probably the right choice here, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, but he's not Luke Cage. We still don't have a tank. We have tanky characters. We don't have a tank.
I mean, if you're killing everything, you don't need a tanky tank. You just need
Yeah, so we should go Hawkeye.
What's Ben
I
saying?
like
This
to
is
steal
this is
something,
this
It is
this
Ben's roster.
business.
Yeah.
I like Hawkeye the character because, like Black Widow, it's just a person who's stuck in the middle of all this. And there's a bit in when they're having the big fight in New York when he's just sitting on the building shooting arrows, and then Thor flies past and punches a whale, and it's like, why am I even here? And I just like the fact that there's a very human element in this ridiculous circus that's going on around him. So I do like Hawkeye. I also quite like him in Marvel Champions. He's very cool in that. I have Iron Man, but his core model isn't that great.
Mhm.
It's okay, but the model, the sculpting and the production, the model's got better since the core box. Not as stark as Star Wars Legion, where the core box was not very good, and now they're pretty good now. So the later models are generally a lot better.
Not as stark, you say?
Stuff like sharper detail and things like that. But yes, and less weirdly cut with like separate elbows and things, which the core book had. The core box had some of that. It's had that, yet separate elbow pads. I think.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten.
Arms for some reason. I don't know why.
Zemo's another fun one for convocation. Speaking of separated elbow pads,
Zemo's very cool. My understanding is that he's the standard one that everybody includes because he's good with everyone.
He's just good, yeah.
Yeah, and that almost puts me off using him because I want to be a bit weird.
I think you have a very good, very weird roster right now.
Oh,
you have
absolutely.
6 affiliated members. You can do basically any threat value. You have Scarlet Witch, who's your big hitter. You have Nick Fury in case you need to do like annoying extract stuff, or if you just want to play Nick Fury because he's cool. You have Widow and Iron Man, who both fulfill their roles very well. Helios is an insane card.
I'm cool with that. So what's our tactics cards? Because we have that you spend one on the roster, you spend one on the bar, don't you?
Yeah. So right now, ones that I pulled out, we have Bar with No Doors, which is the convocation leadership. You kind of need it. We have Ironbound Books of Shumagarath, which is the one where you have to target their mystic unless you're using energy attacks, which I think is also, especially if we're bringing Fury, it'd be silly not to bring it. Astral Ring is the one where you get to put down a little token within 3 of you and then attack and use your powers from that token.
Yeah.
So like Doctor Strange gets a lot of use out of it for sniping people or just teleporting them off of points. Journey Through Limbo is that cool magic card where she teleports and incinerates people. And then I grabbed No More Mutants, which is like if you said you played Magic, so it's the counter spell. It's the Scarlet Witch, pay 3 power, turn off powers.
Okay. Nice.
So it's like if she's within 5 of someone and they spend any amount of power, anything from like 1 to more than that. So not 0 cost, but 1 to anything. You can pay 3 and they pay their power. They spend their mana, they tap their lands, but they just can't use it anymore. It just doesn't happen. It's real good.
Yeah, they can't do it again if it's a multi-use ability.
It's just shut down. So like if like Thanos portals, she just turns off Thanos portals. She says you don't get to use that power this turn.
Okay.
And then I grabbed Advanced R&D at Dizzard's request. I'm sure there's something I'm not seeing there. I think it was for Ironbound Books to be able to turn that on turn 1.
So here's some things that you can do with Advanced R&D. Is one, you're bringing Fury and Wong, so you already have the herb play with Fury if somebody wants to play herbs into you. It's like with Fury, there's a round 1 herb play that you use R&D and Wong, pass power to Fury. He would also need reposition to do this, but you have the option if you want to. It's not necessary to play it, but R&D is a super good convocation, in my opinion, is to pass power around. It gives the ability for Strange to pull off Scalpel round 1. What Wong also does able to make Strange do it, but R&D just gives everybody power. And it also makes it so you can play Ironbound Books even if you're not playing Strange. So you can just pass power to people and make it. So I just
Why
like
is it
R&D.
Reposition affiliated? What?
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
really?
Yes. It
Unaffiliated.
It is such a good card. If you're playing Fury, I would highly recommend taking Reposition to anybody who's playing him.
Why isn't this affiliate? Oh my god!
Eye in the Sky is unaffiliated too.
I know, but Eye in the Sky, you can't recycle it. Like I already saw that being OP today, but like, man, I don't want to slot Fury. I haven't even bought Fury. I don't want to play Fury.
Oh,
never mind.
Fury.
This is Ben's day. Let's do Ben's day.
Yeah, Fury's stupid. Yeah, reposition. In my opinion, if you're playing Fury, whether it be out of affiliation or in affiliation, reposition is Fury's best card. With Eye
It
in the
feels
Sky
like
being his next best.
so much of the game is about just getting your dude to a particular place
Yeah,
at the right time. That anything like that is very, very powerful, because that's how you win, is just by having guys in the right place.
absolutely.
True.
So it feels like anything where any movement shenanigans, if you learn how and when to use them and how to solve the little puzzle each turn, to get your guys in the right place and their guys in the wrong place. It feels like movement shenanigans is one of the ways you can shortcut solve that puzzle.
It is a game of positioning. Positioning is just about all you can count on because the dice are so swingy.
Yeah. I like to say, like, the more questions that you can provide for your opponent, the better. Because if you're providing questions, especially ones that they can't answer, that's how you win the game. So, especially with like Fury and reposition and his grunts and all that, like it's asking so many questions with one model. So you have this is like, if you look at like Thanos is regarded as this super OP model, even though he's not really OP. What Thanos is doing is he's providing a lot of questions for your opponent. Same thing that Fury's doing. He's providing so many different questions that your opponent has to answer on one model. I think that is what actually makes a model great versus good, is how many questions is this model asking?
Yeah, and he costs half as much. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So reposition, yeah, I agree. We should probably throw that in there. How sold are you on Helios, Ben?
I really like the idea of nuking someone from orbit.
Okay.
The bit in, God, is it the second
Aliens,
Iron Man where he's got the laser thing and he sort of zaps all of the robots, and Rhodey says, "You probably should have done that straight away." I really like that idea. That just one giant death laser, and also the fact that he's a merchant of death. Like, he just makes weapons and sells them. So of course he's got a satellite up there somewhere. Like, that's what he does. He probably tried to sell it and nobody would buy it. So he's just got this spare death machine in orbit. And yeah, I like the idea of just the Tony Stark, like, making a phone call and nuking someone from orbit.
Excellent.
Awesome. I'm on board. I'm like this. I might actually play this list myself as well.
That's a great list.
I'm liking how this list is turning out.
I'm aware I'm not thinking very meta. I'm more just I want to nuke you from orbit.
I mean,
Kind of accidentally. These are all like, there's a lot of good meta stuff here. Kind of accident. We're like falling into it right now.
I mean, to be completely fair, like, we're not like purposely picking meta picks. It's like, what would be cool with this? Okay, well, convocation. I get books. Well, what's cool with books? Fury.
All the broken shit.
Literally, all the picks we're doing is like really supportive of each other, which I'm liking a lot. Like, there's a lot of synergies going on inside this list, which it's coming nicely together. I think that's what makes the list fun, is like pulling off super combo wombos like that. Is where are the combos within the list, and that's what makes it super fun. And it gives that feeling that you hear AMG talking about a lot, is where's that cinematic experience, and you get it from the synergies. Like, I'm like, Fury's working with Convocation and Strange. Like, I could totally see this list being a movie.
Yeah, there's a magical threat they need to take care of.
Yeah.
There is a very nice it's always best when there's contrast and conflict, where Fury is about as pragmatic as it gets. He's a secret agent. He runs around with a gun, and then there's guys like teleporting everyone to the mirror dimension. So I like the fact that he just doesn't know he's not going to know what the hell is going on. They never train me for wizards, that kind of thing. It was so much easier back in the CIA. Like where in the Endgame and Infinity War, Spider-Man doesn't know what's going on, and Tom Holland didn't know what was going on. So you really believe that he was just completely clueless about the whole thing. I really like that idea. So the idea of a bunch of wizards and then Nick Fury in the middle of it all definitely appeals to me. The ridiculousness of that situation that he finds himself in, I really like.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm liking this list a lot. It's
fun.
It's super fun and thematic.
Speaking of the list, we are at 8 tactics cards, which happily leaves us with 2 more slots for restricted cards.
Nice.
So you know what the restricted cards are, right, Ben?
You can have 2 restricted cards.
Yes. So right now the list, I might have forgotten one, but it's Brace for Impact, Field Dressing, Med Pack, Patch Up, and Bitter Rivals.
Okay.
I'm a field dressing and brace for impact guy myself.
Yeah, I like having an option in case someone gets absolutely battered. That you can pull their ass out of the fire if you have to.
I didn't want to just say those were the two correct picks, but those are, especially for this list, those are the two correct picks.
I would say
It's
brace, especially. They're so weak on physical.
It feels like throwing a building, like dropping a house on someone, is one of the few almost guaranteed ways to do some damage, and so any way you can mitigate that or stop yourself from being battered, like stop someone smashing another character into you, that kind of thing. And anything where you can just heal when you just absolutely need to, or stop someone getting knocked out when you absolutely need to.
Yeah, and you have Wong for healing.
Yeah, but there's never enough.
Always enough.
And the strange AoE.
The strange AoE as well, yes.
Yeah, this list actually has quite a bit of healing inside of it, which is kind of funny. But you want to be killing. You don't care about healing. Like,
Cool.
All right. So far for people listening,
I wish it was the movie Wong. I just wish it was the
Yes.
jolly, rotund.
I kind of agree.
Wong. That would
Green
be cool.
stuff.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I did in the same quiz that I won this excellent guest spot with you chaps. I won a set of 3D printed alternate miniatures. So I'm going to have to check to see what's in there, because there might be something I can either use. I can't remember if Wong is in there, but might just be able to Frankenstein something.
There might be a thick
out
Wong
of those
though.
ones. Yeah, it might just be someone who's got a bit of a dumpy on him. And I also really liked him beating up Abomination in Shang-Chi,
yes,
That was cool.
which also sort of suggests that the second Hulk movie is not MCU or in the same universe, because Abomination is the bad guy in that one, and I think he dies. I can't remember exactly.
No, he
Did
survived.
Hulks ever really die?
Is he still around? No, fair enough. He's still around. He's Tim Roth as well, which is amazing. He's this like really good sort of gritty actor who's just stuck in the middle of this ridiculous. Everybody, it's like Harry Potter. Everybody is in the MCU somewhere.
they're just floating around.
Like Patton Oswalt is MODOK in the TV series. Yeah. Completely random things like
Did that ever come out?
It did, yeah.
I've only seen the first episode. It's on Disney. It's on the depths of Disney Plus somewhere.
Okay, I'll have to go watch that, because I've been waiting for it, and I was like, when is this ever coming out?
I want him to turn up in the main movies. I want MODOK to be in it, because he's just so stupid.
And ridiculous.
I love it. I absolutely love that.
How
idea.
dare all of you talking trash on my man MODOK?
No, that's why he's great. That you can just imagine them sort of a really grim, gritty opening sequence. It's all dark and it's all tense, and then suddenly, pea-brained fools, MODOK is supreme. And then he just drifts up on his stupid hover chair, which looks like he's farting, and he's just a giant head. And he'll go, "Oh, you got it." And then Nick Fury just says, "What the hell is this?"
One of you listeners, I need you to edit. I need you to edit the Giga Chad face on the MODOK and post that everywhere.
Oh man.
Also, I want them to do an alternate miniature for MODOK, which is Modam, the female MODOK.
Yes, I think that'd be super cool. Just even including it into the game itself would be super fun.
I want all of these weird.
That's so scary.
Versions. All these weird alternate versions is like I don't know, convention models or limited edition or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because nothing that's functionally different, but I think like sort of limited edition and convention models and stuff, if it's not functionally different, if you can still play exactly the same game with them or without them, if they're just cosmetic like skins in a video game, I think that's awesome, especially if they're weird and really off like theme, like Spider Ham or Modam or something equally dumb like that. I think that would be amazing. I'd love that kind of thing.
This is MCP though. I mean, the girls are always better than the boy versions of like everything that comes out.
So far, yeah.
I want Captain Carter. I want Baba Yaga. I want my Scarlet Witch to be Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
I want all of this ridiculous stuff in there that they just plumb from the depths of. Also, I want What If to be an affiliation.
That would be a cool affiliation.
Killmonger.
That'd be so fun.
Steve, but it's Captain Carter. Scarlet Witch is in there. Doctor Strange. I think all of those. I want that to be an affiliation. I think that would
give us a super evil Doctor Strange.
crazy old man. Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Evil Strange.
You
We
said
need a
what if, and
third
all I
Doctor
heard was-
Strange.
all I heard when you said what if is reformed Thanos.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Guardians Thanos. Let's go.
Nice guy nice guy Taserface, nice guy, because it's the Pete in this universe. Star-Lord isn't a moron.
That episode really just was like, what if someone who is better than Peter Quill at everything?
What
was
if Peter
Star-Lord?
Quill didn't do anything and didn't screw everything up for everyone he meets? What if he was
how
a
we feeling
toxic
about-
idiot?
You guys want to get going on these extracts and secures? Because then we're actually done with the list. We can just wrap about.
Probably.
Okay.
Seems
Oh,
good.
well-
What does this list do good?
Also, I'm hoping for the game in general. I'm really hoping they just release a card pack with all the tactics cards.
Oh, you
Maybe
and
not necessarily
everybody
the-
else.
I agree.
I can imagine them not doing the character specific ones that come in the box with the character. I can imagine them swinging that, but all of the neutral ones or affiliation ones that would be. I think people would they just sell it. People would buy it. I think that's something people genuinely want, and especially all the missions, all the scenarios.
If there's one point that I've had trouble selling this game to people on, it's the missions being locked behind people.
And I think they could. There's no rarity issue or anything like that. I don't think they're going to piss people off by releasing the cards separately when people have already bought the pack, because you've already, if you go and buy a box for the card, A, you're hardcore meta and you're going to buy all of this stuff anyway, and B, you've got the models, so you've actually, the thing that you spent money on, you've still got it. So I think it would be a genuinely big improvement for the game.
Some alt arts. I mean, there are people who just want, more options.
You could put shiny foil stuff in there if you want to give it an extra bit
Still my beating heart.
zhuzh it up a bit. You can do anything you want.
All the people who are super collectors.
You can do full art ones with no text on them. You just have to remember everything that it does.
Gosh, are you in my dreams? What is going on?
like the full art version of it's the magic card which has like the most words on it. There's a full art version of it. It's the one with like 3 modes, and they, for some reason, they did a full art version of that. Anything with cards, you can do an infinite number of different prestige shiny versions with Mike Mignola art or something. I don't know.
Oh man, that was
All right.
awesome. I would love.
Are we
a what-if
running herbs? Cryptic Command.
Cryptic Command. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
it was.
Why would you make a full art version? Lightning Bolt, I can understand. Counterspell, fine, that makes sense. Why would you do Cryptic Command for crying out loud? Anyway, that's a bit of an aside, but it's as dumb as doing like Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme as a textless full art.
Oh man,
I'll take 2.
3. I'll one up you. I want the extended art. All right.
Comic.
So let's go ahead and go over what we have so far. So we got Convocation roster focused around playing Witch at every single threat value. We got Scarlet Witch, Voodoo, Sorcerer Supreme, or what were you calling him earlier? Sexy Strange. Sexy Strange. Wong, Magic, Baron Mordo, Ancient One, Black Widow, Nick Fury, and Iron Man. Most everybody here has almost at least a 4 Mystic defense, which is insane. I think the only one who doesn't is Iron Man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wong's only got a 3, right?
Oh yeah. Wong's a 3.
In his dreams.
You always let the side down.
Hey, Wong is cool. I think we could definitely get away with, I think, Senators for sure, because that 14 point with what it was like Scarlet Witch,
Voodoo.
Wong,
Magic
Voodoo, and Mordo. That's pretty nasty to go into at 14.
I would say Mortal or Magic, either or. Yeah.
Or Voodoo and Sexy Strange and Wanda.
Oh yeah, I like that team a lot too. Or Ancient One. Just go hard.
hard.
Although
Stuff,
you probably take Voodoo at that point, to be honest.
Drop the Senator.
We're already down to 10 minutes left on this meeting.
All right, we got this. Let's do this. Let's crank this out. Herbs. I mean, are we running herbs, or are we only playing herbs when they play it into us?
I think
I don't
it's
think
only
we run
play
herbs.
Yeah, I think it's play herbs and they run it into us. Like have the backup plan. I don't know, Ben. Like, do you like? Oh, you said you like killing things, so let's go ahead and throw hammers in here. I think this supposed to be stupid with hammers.
My
You can also
understanding
throw
is that you
alien ship, too.
you can have a massive swing with hammers with Doctor Voodoo because if Hulk's got like 3 of them, he goes, "Oh no, you don't," because you're being haunted now, idiot, and he drops them all.
Exactly.
Doctor Strange's AoE with hammers is also a particular brand of nasty.
The
Witch.
mini game of getting Doctor Strange into the best possible position to do his tactical nuke
Yeah.
with his AoE I like that idea as well.
I think
Bad.
another
Ping people here and there and then just go off.
another great thing with hammers is I love Fury on hammers because you have the grunt play with him, and they can both grab a hammer. You play reposition, and basically you set up one whole entire flank against your opponent, and it's super dirty. Basically, like my whole thought process with it is you have Fury all by him lonesome, and this only works if you have prio, but Fury all by him lonesome, and everybody else is on one flank. You have somebody grab your home hammer later on the round, but first round, Fury grabs a hammer, Grunt grabs a hammer, and then Fury is a sitting duck, so your opponent's going to go into Fury, of course. They give him a little bit of power. He lives because he's a 4/3/4 with 6 health. So he's not going to get one shot unless the opponent just dice happens and you get diced. But if he lives, he only needs to gain 2 power, and then you can reposition over the other side, and you have your whole entire team dominating one flank with 3 hammers. Like, it's super dirty. It's worked every time I've done it. It's worked every time I've done it. Because everybody because people think like, oh, I'm gonna attack the grunt, and then people say, oh, Fury's by himself. I'm gonna go after Fury, and I've not yet have Fury get one rounded by anybody, not even Thanos or Corvus.
Nobody go after Fury, dude. He's always got the backup.
He's always got the
died
backup.
He died once, I understand, in the comics. This was back before he was Samuel L. Jackson. He just got shot. Nick Fury's dead. And then just like one day he came back, and I don't think they ever explained it.
That's because a body double.
It's like, where did Scarlet Witch's kids go? I remember that was a really big deal. Just one writer said, I can't be asked to write kids. And so she just didn't have children. Lots of people are really upset about that. Like, why did you take her children away?
You can't have these. Oh, man. But yeah, I like hammers a lot with this list. I think you're trying to kill. You want more dice, more hammers, more better, and it's 18 threat. Like 18 threat, you can run Witch, Strange. That's that's 10 points. You got 8 more points, so like you could run Fury and then Voodoo. Yeah, there you go. Brutality. Perfect. Oh man, this is shaping up.
I was thinking about cubes, but I realized you'd have to go like, assuming you get 17, it'd be like Witch, Fury, and then 3 3s, which isn't the best, or can't even do. Never mind, because Wong's not a 3.
That'd be 3 3 2. You could do Strange.
You could do Strange
and a 3 and a 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, 17, just a 3. Yeah.
Fury, Strange, Scarlet, and then a 3.
A magic or
magic
Mordo.
Yeah,
I see you. I think you're gonna be playing a lot of magic. Qs could be fun. But I'm thinking like kill list. Maybe he's got
research. Yeah, I like that a lot actually.
We're just here to if we're here to throw some dice and
just make them walk at you.
Yeah,
because you can do Strange, Wanda, Ancient One, Wong, and they have to walk at you, and then you just blow them up.
That could be fun.
Yeah, Magic and Iron Man. Then you got a little bit of control.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, then like going into something like CS, you have between Strange and Iron Man, you have so much people pushing them off the researcher that Strange be doing Scalpel. That means he can even get Juggernaut off the point with Scalpel, which that'd be super annoying. I like it. I like those extracts. And you got 14, 18, 16. It's kind of funny because you're keeping low with such tall models. Like,
I mean, that's where they operate best.
Yeah. Plus threats to take your own stuff down.
Yeah. All right, secures. If we're trying to think of the lines of fighting and what we have, we definitely don't want to be taking mutant madmen because our physical is not so high.
Locked in. Sounds good.
I mean, what's funny is the physical really isn't that bad because you have Fury, who's a 4/3/4. Wanda's a 3. Strange is a 3.
Iron Man's a 4. I mean, you could do it. Like you could pivot into a decent madman.
I don't think you bring it because there are definitely other teams that do it better, but I think you can play it fine.
How do you guys think this list performs on Gamma?
I think it's very similar to research where you kind of have to kill them. If you don't, you're not in a great spot, but you
Yeah.
have a very good chance of killing them because it's going to be low threat and you'll have Strange and Witch.
Do you like Gamma, Ben? Is Gamma a fun one for you?
Is Gamma the one where you have to be near the objective to avoid getting irradiated?
Correct.
Yeah. I like the idea of teleporting or pushing someone out of that. Just the concept of just kicking them out of the Gamma shelter appeals to me.
Awesome.
How about no and just shoving them out of the door? That's quite funny.
Okay, so what about the other one with demons downtown where you're pushing them into the point to make them incinerate?
Voodoo's the only thing I remember from one of the game I played with Complications, that Voodoo is immune to incinerate.
Yeah.
It is.
So that I quite like that idea as well, of him just sitting there while everyone else is on fire.
So that could be good. And then we got one more. What do we want? What is?
I'm always tempted to put intrusions into that kind of a mix.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm looking at this. Deadly Meteors would be another one, but you don't really have that
That's not
much for solid
energy.
energy defense.
We have
Yeah.
decent
Plus-
energy, but I don't think we want to be running to
Not
the middle.
enough.
I think we want them to run to the middle, if that makes sense.
Mhm. That
Yeah.
does.
I kind of like the thought of intrusions.
You got chip damage you can heal with Wong. You got chip damage you can heal
Yeah.
with the Strange Spender.
Yeah, I think intrusions wouldn't be that bad. Plus, it comes with Ancient Ones pack, so doesn't it? Isn't it Ancient Ones pack?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get you one more.
There you go.
I
think
just got that
intrusions would be
back the other
fun.
day.
There you go. All right. How you looking this list, Ben? You think it's
I'm
fitting
really
what you're
liking
looking
it.
for?
I'm really liking it. It's got a lot of the stuff I have already, which is great. And it's got the stuff I don't have is cool, mainly Scarlet Witch and Nick Fury. I don't know where all the cards are from, but certainly on TTS it's not so much of an issue, and I doubt very many people will have too much of a problem, like in casual games, just proxying those.
I don't own Helios. I printed out Helios.
Yeah, probably quite a lot of people proxy a lot of these just because it's the only way you can do it without buying literally everything. So yeah, I think it's really cool. It's got some of my favorite characters in it. It's got I love I love Nick Fury being in there because he's such a cool idea and a cool model, and I like the fact that there's kind of 3 Shield characters in there. So maybe in the future, because I like the idea of the Shield affiliation as well. That gives me the core of that. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I think, and I like. Also, it's not a tweaked tournament winning meta list, but it's not rubbish. It's still got good stuff in it and a plan. So I like that's the right sort of balance for me. I don't have to be a tournament player, but I do like the idea of not sucking just for its own sake. So yeah, I think this is just about on my level. And yeah, the fact that Scarlet Witch is always in there because she's just cool and is just chucking random hex bolts at people and messing around with reality and just teleporting everybody into a bubble of her own creation. All of this really appeals to me.
Nice.
Awesome. So this room is about to close out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put us
All
on
right.
another quick intermission
Go.
while we get the
Mhm.
next one set up. And
Round 3.
then, yeah, round 3.
Let's all go to the lobby.
And we'll go ahead and I need to get that as a jingle, Sam.
We'll work on it.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get this on intermission, and we'll get the next one sent out to you guys.
All right.
Thanos love.
I like the fact that Thanos isn't in this. I think that's cool. If everyone's playing him, I'd rather be a little bit left field.
People are playing because they don't understand him.
Yeah, but now you have the next boogeyman, which is going to be Fury.
He 100% is going to be the next boogeyman.
I think this comes back to like something I was talking to Sam and Hyper Viper about the other day. Was I think that the real boogeyman of the game is the players, but I think that's a topic for another day. Because that's what we do. It's what we do with miniature games, right? We try to break stuff and make it better than it should have been because that's what we do. But yeah, this is super fun, man. I'm excited to hear how it goes for you, and I'm probably be playing it myself a little bit because I have not actually played Convocation. I'm curious to play this myself.
Yeah, I gotta buy Strange because my buddy plays him a bunch and he totally sold me on him last week. But I think I want to make the list for myself. It'll definitely include Thanos because I love Thanos because I'm a good person, but probably won't include Fury. Maybe I'll try and get around the grunt thing.
Strange is one of the best models as well.
I love them. Yeah. I love the ones that people have like the whole background, the little portal of like the stars and everything like that. Oh, it looks super cool.
Yeah.
They're like little dioramas.
Yeah.
That's next level stuff right there.
Yeah, I wish I was that good at painting. But so yeah, let's go over this one last time real quick for everybody listening.
Are we recording?
Sure.
Yeah, gosh damn it, Zoom.
Recording in progress.
Oh, we're recording for the Twitch, but not the
All right.
the
So
podcast.
this list is Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. I'm not gonna do that every time. Dr. Voodoo, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, Magic, Wong, Baron Mordo, Ancient One, Corset Iron Man, Corset Black Widow, Nick Fury. And then we'll have No More Mutants, Bar with No Doors, Ironbound Books of Shumagorath, Astral Ring, Journey Through Limbo, Brace for Impact, Field Dressing, Advanced R&D, Reposition, Helios Laser Bombardment. And then for our extracts, we have Mutant Extremists target U.S. Senators, Fear Grips World as Worthy Terrorized Citizens, Research Station Attacked. And then for extracts, we have Gamma Waves Sweep Across the Midwest, Demons Downtown, Has Our Comeuppance Come Due, and Intrusions Open Across City as Seals Collapse.
Cool. All right. Well, this has been
with Helios and
fun.
Fury in the same list. All I can see is Jackie Brown, Samuel L. Jackson. When you absolutely positively have to kill every last motherfucker in the room, except no substitutes.
All right. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'll probably play this my next chance I get to play a game.
Cool.
But
Remember,
like
if you don't play Scarlet Witch, you're not playing with the spirit of Ben.
No, that's the whole point of this list is to play Scarlet Witch. So you have to play Scarlet Witch every single game.
I want a scenario card which is Crazy Witch teleports everyone into sitcom reality.
Ooh,
We'll make that work.
I mean that's a much more robust No More Mutants, where she just turns off everyone's stuff and says, "No,
You're
we're
now
playing
just
house now.
you're now
Half
a
of you are
housewife.
pregnant."
Oh man.
You're now just a guy.
Oh, all right then. Well, I'd like to thank Ben for joining us. This has been a rather fun experience.
You're very
real
welcome.
fun.
Thank you very much for having me. It was loads of fun.
Of course.
Yeah. If anybody wanted to reach out to you and like chat with you or anything like that, do you want to give people like what you said you're working on another podcast or?
Yes. So
people
I
find
am
you?
mainly it'll be on Twitter. I am at Ben Counter on Twitter. One word, like a shop counter. I mostly tweet nerdy stuff. I mostly post either stuff about the podcast or pictures of miniatures. If you wish to listen to me talk, I did a podcast called Out of Place, which is a dark alternative history kind of analog horror podcast. There are 2 seasons of that, which is mostly me droning on. I also wrote season 4 of the SCP Files podcast, which is an adaptation of a number of the SCP project entries. Season 4 is a series of interlinks stories which describe one particularly huge and weird and awesome SCP. and loads of really cool people worked on it. So I think we achieved something very, very funky there. And apart from that, I wrote a bunch of books at Games Workshop, and I still got royalties. So do feel free to go and buy one.
Nice.
Sounds great.
You know that they're making some MTP fiction. You should reach out.
Nice. Maybe I do have a background in licensed fiction. It is quite unusual when you think that they're characters from comics, which then were in TV and film, and now there's a load of games, and then they're now going into the one medium that they're not associated with in any way, which is novels, where you don't see their rippling muscles and think it's the one non-visual medium that they've really been in. But that's awesome. Like, what is it like? What is their inner dialogue when all of this ridiculous stuff's going on? So maybe that would be lots and lots of fun, especially with someone like Scarlet Witch, where God knows what's going on in her head when she's throwing literal randomness, like chaos randomness around the world. That would be amazing. So maybe I'll have a shufty and see what their submission guidelines are like.
All right.
Okay. Well, I guess this is where we're gonna. I'm trying to think of the transition. But yeah, thanks Ben for hanging out with us and creating this roster, and congratulations on winning the charity quiz question from us.
Thank
Which,
you.
if those of you who did not catch it, it was what were the original colors of the gems in the Marvel universe?
And I guessed, and I got it right.
you were the first person to guess. That's all that matters, right?
That's what really counts in this world. It's not about your personal qualities. It's about whether you win or not.
Exactly. But all right. So we're gonna go ahead and
a shout out to Rich Mid Gaming as well.
Oh,
He's the
yes,
guy that
yes.
He's the one that organised the quiz, and it was for Candlelighters, I think, which is a charity that he was supporting, and that was loads and loads of fun. I think everyone was really grateful to him for all that.
Ben, if you can bear with us for just a second, we need to do our challenge of the week and set it up for next week too. Whether we're doing that now or in a couple of minutes.
Oh yeah, go ahead and go over that, Sam.
All right, so absolutely zero bearing on the name, but Samzilla wins for the Defenders Challenge of the Week, mostly because his roster is the closest to mine.
Oh my goodness. I went away from like picking somebody who had something similar to what I would do. And you okay.
Nope, I loved it.
Fair enough.
That's good. Yep. No, so good job, Sam. And good luck playing Defenders this summer. I know that's what you're targeting. So I look forward to watching that roster evolve a little bit.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to check out the challenges of the week, they are over in our Discord under the challenge of the week. We'll put a link into the show notes. I guess Hyper Viper, you have next week's challenge. What do you want people to build for you?
I didn't prepare for this.
That's the fun part.
Honestly, if I had to pick something that's just like for me, if you guys are going to do something at my behest, I want you to give me your best grunt body stacking lists. I'm going to lean into it, folks. I'm leaning into it. I'm the guy who doesn't like grunts. So give me, because I have a list that I built, not specifically, but does perform very well at killing immeasurable numbers of tiny weaklings.
Yeah.
So show me what you got. Give me your murder. Do that.
Feed
Tell
the
me
meat.
this pen.
Feed the meat grinder is the challenge.
So
Yes.
so X23, Sabretooth, Carnage, Angela.
You're thinking too small, Dizzard.
Oh, okay. Black Order, Thanos. Yeah, okay.
No, not even that. I think the real answer is you just play Bucky.
Fair enough. I can accept that.
Back in my day, Bucky was the only one who stayed dead. How old I am.
Oh man. I guess we can hit the announcement real quick from this last week. We saw the reveal of it actually being Dizzard, myself being the correct person with the silhouette guesses of Black Giant, Super
Right.
Giant,
Dizzard and only
uh,
Dizzard. No,
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
one
no.
else.
No one else saw that.
No one else.
coming.
No one else.
sir.
Nope, I was the only one that got it, so that's how it works. But yeah, so the reveal came out of the pictures from the silhouettes, and it was Supergiant and Black Swan. So I'm excited for these two. The models look super cool too. Hyper Viper will be giving us a promised McDonald's holding Black Swan.
I was amused by the fact that Black Dwarf is way bigger than Supergiant.
Yeah.
Yes, so perfect. I've already apologized to my locals for how much they're going to have to see these.
I'm excited.
I refuse to apologize. I've been told once or twice by my locals that like, hey, so you could not play Thanos at the next event, right? No. So,
that's
and I don't even
doubtful.
play Thanos all that much. I really don't. But when these folks come out, it's Black Order forever, baby.
We don't know if is there a chance one of those could be an alternative leader.
There absolutely is. There also
Right.
might be a bar with no doors style card, but I also
yeah.
could just be listening to the various discords too much who are begging for that.
I love unwarranted speculation.
Yeah, no, I
love
think it'd be
it.
Supergiant if anything. Black Swan, it kind of does her own thing. She's the most recent member of the Black Order, but Supergiant could absolutely be a leader, or they could just have a card.
I kind of hope that they do the card because I think it would make Ma more relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was randomly saying, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they did this character or that affiliation?" And the weirder and madder and more bonkers it gets. Let's do Libra from from the
Yo,
Angel
where are
Heart.
my Mojoverse fans at?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
where's Mojo, dude? Let's do Generation X. Let's get Chamber in there and
Let me get the Starjammers and Corsair in this game.
Oh my god. I'm just over here like I want Phantom X for my X-Force.
where's Stiltman for
Phantom
crying
X
out loud?
rules. I love Phantom X.
Yes.
You could box him with Psylocke, easy.
Yeah,
Do the Marvel UK stuff with oh god, Death's Head and all the really weird like 90s Marvel UK stuff
wow.
off in their own weird little bubble. Yeah.
Oh man.
Maybe Nightcrawler will lead Excalibur.
I mean that would be pretty cool. Oh.
Alpha Flight. I think that's one they may actually genuinely do at some point.
I know I got a buddy
Like,
that
if-
wants
if-
Wendigo super bad.
If they have to cut much deeper, they'll be getting like Puck and Sasquatch. And
Puck rules though. He was just
yeah,
in Immortal Hulk.
it would be amazing. You just, he's in Marvel Unlimited. He's in one of the boxes is Alpha Flight.
They went crazy with their stuff that they pretty much did everything.
Yeah, it's
I guess.
that's Strife is in that, for instance. I remember thinking, who the hell is Strife? So I looked him up and I
Yeah.
thought, oh my god, he can do absolutely everything.
I love Strife. I cannot wait for Strife to come to this game. Every time
He's
somebody's
Cable
like, "Who's?"
2.0.
Yeah, every time somebody's like, "Who's Strife?" I'm like, "Look at Cable," and then imagine Cable but better.
He's Cable without the hideous wasting like space syphilis or whatever it is
Yeah.
that Cable's got.
Anybody wants to read a fantastic Cable and Strife story, I cannot recommend Messiah War more.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's real good. I love Strife.
looking at the random write up is all like they're all from different timelines and they're all clones of each other and it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's been like 70 years of them trying to fix their own mistakes, and they've just made more in the process.
I think one of the things with comics is, and the films are getting like this as well, the continuity gets so self-referential and so incestuous that it is about 80 or 90% fan service. It will be like watching Rogue One if you hadn't seen Star Wars. It just there's no who are these people and why do I care? And that's the comics they constantly have to do. No one knows what the hell's going on. We're just going to go from issue 1. It's a new imprint and a new universe and the new versions, and then they eventually bump into the other universes, and it all blows up all over the place. The MCU is hovering around about there. The multiverse of madness may be the tipping point into complete incomprehensibility, unless you've watched literally about 23 films first.
But that Love and Thunder preview. Finally.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty sick. All
Without
right.
spoiling anything, they did a fantastic homage to the, I think, 2013 Jason Aaron God of Thunder series, and I cannot be more excited for that film.
I can't say I read much of Thor, so yeah.
That's one writer who actually like Jason Aaron. I mean, no hate to the guy, but what he's doing right now, I'm not a huge fan of. He's currently writing Avengers, but back in the day when he was writing Thor, he actually like that's the best modern Thor story by a pretty
Mhm.
large margin.
It's amazing. 10 of 10 would recommend the entire
Absolutely.
run.
He's
I shed like single man tears when it was over.
Thor is quite a significant character to not be copyrightable.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a DC Thor as well because, like, yeah, it's just Thor.
Thor.
Public
The DC Hercules, dude.
Yep.
All right. I think that
All right.
covers everything. Just want to do a quick closeout of once again, thanks Ben for hanging out with us and helping us build this roster with you. It's been very
Thank you.
enjoyable.
It was loads of fun. There are a few pleasures purer than just talking about nerd stuff with fellow nerds for like an hour. It's great.
Absolutely. And then thank you to everybody who listened and came by and hung out with us on the Twitch and checking out after the fact. I will say we are going to start changing and just posting up the podcast onto podcast formats a day early, is because I don't edit it anyways. So that's what's going to
Better
happen.
this way.
Yeah, just do it live. Everybody likes the live content anyways. Everybody wants to just hear it how it is. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next time.
Way go.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Maximum effort.
In this war, there's no surrender.
He's out of line, but he's right. Who the hell's Bucky?
You don't like a fair fight.
I think you're wrong. Which part? All of it.
Think you're the only superhero in the world?
Touche.
Recording stopped.